Salem King is a creator, teacher, and social media influencer dedicated to advancing the African creator economy and building a new core of creative storytellers. Having trained over 3,000 emerging creators, his impact has earned him a TFAA nomination and partnerships with top brands such as Spotify, YouTube, Stanbic IBTC, and more. His engaging and empowering content has built a vibrant community of over 180,000 followers who share a passion for growth and storytelling. Through his work, Salem inspires a generation and remains a leading voice, driving innovation and community in the digital space. Ladies and gentlemen, with a standing ovation and a round of applause, make welcome Salem King.
We are talking about a dynamic content creator with a superpower to turn your vision into a viral sensation. That task can be bigger and better. The louder we clap, the faster he's here. Thank you so kindly.
Thank you so much. Please take your seats. Dr. FJ, please, can we have this event next week again so they can make another video like this for me? I really like how I look in it. All right. Dr. FJ, thank you so much for having me. I'm absolutely honored to be here. I turned 30 this year, so I've been feeling very old. But, you know, in this flyer, I feel so good right now. I'm feeling young. I'm like, yes, I'm in the right company. So thank you so much for having me. Your impact, you know, Dr. FJ, I've known you for a long time, but you've not known me for very long. But your impact has been felt in my life over a long period of time. Your heart for people, that's something that has always translated as far back as I have known you and followed your work. So thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor. And I would like to honor someone very special and important to me, pivotal to my journey. Everything I have, all the work that I'm able to do, my curious mind, how open my mind is to the world, the exposure I have, and just the person I've become as a storyteller and creator and just an audacious business person in general. I owe all of that to my father, Dr. Sam Ibrahim. And I don't know if a lot of people get to experience this in their lifetime, like watching their children speak like this, but it's such an honor. Which means I have very big shoes to fill today. You know, every other place I speak, I'm just having fun, but my dad is here, so like I have to be serious. I'm so honored to be at this meeting, at this event, because it is in places like this that people's lives change permanently. A lot of times you hear someone's story, and sometimes they can even tell you the exact date. That it was on 1st of January 2007, I was at so-and-so place. This person said so-and-so, I wrote it down. And this is directly connected to where I am. So I want you to not take for granted the company of people that you're in. I am so honored to be the first person speaking, because at an event like this, you don't want to be the one to speak after any of these people. You know, so I'm so happy that I'm the first. Like, it can only go up from here, you know. So it's good for me. We're talking about the art of closing deals. Now, the first step in closing any deal is selling, right? It's sales. In order for you to be able to close any deal in the first place, you have to be selling. If you're not selling, what are you closing? Do you understand? And the only way to sell is to have something of value. The only way for you to sell The only way to sell is to actually have something of value, which begs the question, what is something of value? Because how many of you have started a business because someone told you, oh, there's money in this thing, it's going to work, and then you started the business and like 1 month later, nothing came out of it? Anybody? Don't worry, no judgment, this is a safe space. We've all been there. Because it is possible for you to have something that you think is something of value and the market does not need it. Do we agree? It's possible for you to have something and present it to the market, but that's not what they are looking to buy. And because of that, your business never really takes off. So in order to sell, you have to have something of value. So that would mean that selling is difficult for a lot of us because, one, you either do not have something of value, or two, you do not know how to communicate the value of what you have. So it's always one of those two things. It's either you do not have something of value because there is always a market that is willing to part with money for something of value. Or you have something of value, but you do not know how to communicate, you do not know how to meet the people who need the value that you have to offer. And I think we should ask ourselves, so what is something of value? Ultimately, whatever is of value is something people want or need that they cannot or will not get for themselves. I need you guys to remember that. What is something of value? Something people want, something people need that they either cannot or will not get for themselves. And value is subjective from person to person, which is why I can hear that Whiskey is coming to town and they say the ticket is 50,000 naira and I buy it for 50,000 naira. And then there's somebody else that's like, why would you waste that amount of money on a music ticket? But to me, it is what? It is valuable. So to me, that's not too much money. To somebody else, they would say 50,000 naira is too, I would have used it to do this. For example, there are people who want to invest in real estate. There are people that would take that same 5 million that they could use to buy a land and say, I don't want to buy a land, I want to travel the world. Who are you to tell that person who wants to travel that what they have is not of value because it is not landed property? Do you understand? So value is subjective. Now, selling is something people have become very uncomfortable with in our time, and I don't know why. I sell digital products, so a lot of times I get people who send me a message and say, how do I sell without selling? I want to figure out a way to sell without selling. And I always wonder, why do you want to sell without selling? Why are you so ashamed to sell? Once you go out in the street now, right, on these Aguri-Ronsi streets, before you drive past 3 buildings, how many billboards are you going to see? They are not considering you. They are putting it in your face. They are actively selling all the time. A lot of those companies, they are billionaire companies, which means they don't need to be advertising that hard. And then we, that we have not made our first 1 million naira, you are ashamed on social media, saying, how will I don't want to be seen as if I'm selling. And a huge part of it is our perspective of what sales is flawed. We viewed sales and marketing from the perspective of going to knock on someone's door and convincing them to get something that they don't need. But that's not what selling is. Ultimately, selling that is well done is you finding a need that already exists and positioning yourself as a solution to an already existing problem. That way, selling is not as hard as other people talk about it. All the people who do it so comfortably, they believe in what they are selling. They know the value of what they are offering. In fact, they even feel like they are doing you a favor. Even though you're going to give them money, they realize that the value of what I'm giving you, this money you are giving me, is not even, I'm even helping you with this thing I'm selling to you. And that's how we all need to get to, that's the point we all need to get to with the things that we're selling. But of course, there's a process to get in there, and that's what we're going to talk about. Now, what if there was a way for you to practice selling? What if there was a way for you to practice selling even though you don't have any products, you don't have any service, you don't have any business? What if there was a way for you to actually practice without starting a business? And what I'm about to share with you guys, if you already have a business, if you already have a product, it's going to be valuable to you. It will add a spring to your step with everything that you're already pursuing. So pay attention. In the next few minutes, I'm going to teach you how to sell yourself. Because that is the most important thing you sell before anything else. So even if you don't have a product, you don't have a service, you have what? You have yourself. And there may be someone here who's saying, but I don't have any talent, I don't have any interest, I don't have any passion. We're going to get to you in a minute. All right? So what's the method that I'm about to teach you? What's the method to selling yourself and practicing over time, even if you have nothing at this time? which nobody has nothing, but we're going to get there. The method is building a personal brand using storytelling. I started making videos sometime in 2017, 2018. Let me tell you a bit of my story. I wasn't consistent. I was just, I had a 9 to 5. I was working in sales and marketing at a real estate company, but I knew I wanted to teach. Ever since I was a teenager, whatever I was learning, I wanted to share with someone. I always had a passion for transferring knowledge, and I knew this since I was young. So in 2019, in January 2019, we're already in February. I wanted to say January like this, but thank God, the 100 days of January have passed. But in January 2019, I decided, you know what? This thing that I'm doing as a hobby, I'm going to make 30 videos in 30 days. I'm going to push myself. And I wasn't trying to do anything. I wasn't trying to become a content creator. I wasn't trying to become an influencer. I wasn't trying to promote anything, nothing. I didn't even know any of these things. I just wanted to put out 30 videos in 30 days. And so I started. I was borrowing ring light. I didn't have ring light. I was borrowing ring light from my friend. I didn't have a tripod, so I used to put my phone on a stack of books. And I would just make videos and just talk about, if you scroll on my Instagram, if you have the time, scroll, you'll find it. Go to January 1st, 2019 and confirm what I'm saying. So I started putting videos every day, just talking about anything and everything and teaching in a fun way. Because every time I would see someone teach, I'll be like, isn't there a better way to communicate this so that people can remember for a long time? And I would apply that and share important knowledge, but in like a humorous way. When I started, I had 1,500 followers on Instagram. By the end of that 30 days, I had grown to 5,000 followers. In my mind, I just wanted to go. I thought maybe after 30 days, I'll go from 1,500 to 2,000. But I ended up tripling my following. Over time, people started to ask me, how do you make your videos? How are you able to say so much within such a short time? How do you edit your, if you've never heard of me, my name is Salem King. Please follow me, help my life. But they asked, how do you make your content? How do you do all of this? And I did a class. One time I did a class and I charged 5,000 naira and 100 people signed up. That was the first time in my whole life that I made 500,000 naira. My dad is hearing this for the first time. I was in their house, but they did not know that I was pressing phone. And I was making more than my salary at that time. Now, the moment I made 500, my salary was maybe 80K at that time. So that was like 6 months of my salary that I made in 2 days. So I immediately began to plot my escape. Because I'm like, I don't need to do this job anymore. If I'm doing this thing on the side and I'm making this amount, what would it be like if I actually did it full time? And then some months later, I started getting messages from brands. Oh, we love your work. We love the way you do so and so. How much will you charge to promote so and so and so? At the time, I didn't even know that I could charge money to do what I was already doing for free. Right? And just like that, I realized I'm in a place where I'm a content creator. I'm an influencer. I didn't even know what those terms were. I just found myself in that place because I was putting myself out there over a period of time. So what I'm about to teach you is based on my experience. Building a personal brand using storytelling. Has anybody ever heard about personal branding? You've heard the phrase personal brand. Respond to me now. Have you ever heard about personal branding? Yes. Amazing. So most commonly, most people just know branding, but they don't know about personal branding. So let's break it down. Branding ultimately is the process of creating a distinct identity for a business. So the colors, the logo, the music around, everything that makes a brand identifiable, right? Now, personal branding, on the other hand, is the act of people promoting themselves and their careers as brands. So it's you thinking about yourself, your existence, your work, your career, your interests as something that can be packaged and put out into the world as a brand. That is something everyone has to do. All the speakers here today, they already do this. There are a lot of CEOs that will not be invited to speak at an event because they do not have a personal brand. For some of them, it works because they just want to run their business. But if you would like to speak, if you would like to impact another generation, having a personal brand is important. Now, I want us to establish one thing. everyone has a personal brand. Do you agree? Well, everyone has have you intentionally built your personal brand? Has everyone here intentionally built their personal brand? No. So why do you believe everyone has a personal brand? I wish this was a smaller group, we would have argued small, but we don't have a lot of time. But the truth is, everyone has a personal brand, because the simple definition of a personal brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. That's it. What do people say about you when you're not in the room? Whether you think you have, whether you've curated that version of yourself intentionally or not, it already exists in the mind of people. Now, the beauty is with social media, you can shape what that perception will be. 30 years ago, if you wanted to build a personal brand, you had to write a book. You had to be on TV. You had to be a celebrity. The average person could not build a personal brand. It was too expensive. You had to be in the newspaper. You had to be a politician. But now, all you need is a smartphone and an internet connection. Do you realize the privilege we have in this generation? Why would you not leverage that? Literally anybody with a smartphone and an internet connection, you can reach anyone, anywhere in the world with a message. Why wouldn't you take advantage of that? Why? So you might be thinking, I don't know where to start. I don't know what to talk about. I don't know how to sit in front of camera. Some of you, maybe you've even bought lights, you've bought tripod. It's gathering dust. Or you've been telling yourself, and is that iPhone I need? Is that iPhone I need? Is that iPhone I need? And then you got it. And you've had it for 6 months. You've not still posted anything. Do you now see that it's not about what you have? It's about making the best use of what you have and what you have access to. Right? If you go on my page, you see that all my old videos are black and white. Do you know why? Because when I wanted to start making videos, I learned how to edit on YouTube, but I was using one cheap Samsung phone because it's what I could afford at the time. So when I would edit, on my own phone, the way I saw it, my own was not looking like the one I was seeing on YouTube. The quality was bad. So I said, okay, what am I going to do? So I got a bright idea to make the video black and white so it will hide the flaws. People could not see the color of my wall. They could not see the color of my wardrobe. And I wore the same t-shirt in every video because I thought, I only have like 6 shirts. So if I keep wearing them and I want to make 30 videos in 30 days, by day 12, the people go down calculate, say, this boy, he has only 6 shirts. So I had a video making uniform and I wore the same black t-shirts in every video. And now I wear black t-shirts everywhere in real life because it's now my personal brand. Right? But that's where it started from. So I want to, if you're feeling like, I don't have anything, I don't know where to start from, I don't have any talent, I don't have any business, sell myself, what should I sell? What should I put out? I want to teach you something that I want you to, please write this down, I want you to remember. There are 5 factors that no 2 people on the face of the earth have the same combination of. There are 5 factors. I want to show you that you are one of a kind. They always tell us, motivation, you are one of a kind. And it's easy to brush it off like that. What do you know about me? I'm from Nasarawa. What do you mean I'm one of a kind? Don't laugh, I'm actually from Nasarawa, so I'll take it personally if you laugh. But I want to prove to you that this isn't just a random statement. You actually are literally one of a kind. So there are 5 factors no 2 people have the same combination of. Whether you're twins, whether you grew up in the same family, you don't have the same combination. And those 5 factors are 1, education, 2, exposure, 3, interests and passions, 4, expertise, and 5, experience or experiences. I'll take that again. Education, exposure, interests and passion, expertise and experience. So I'll explain each of them one after the other. Your education is everything that contributes to the information you have about the world around you, about yourself. This is including school, but not limited to school, including an event like this. This is education. At the end of today, you will go having a richer perspective of the world, of sales, of business, of yourself. That is education. So all through your life, everything that has fallen into that category goes into what we would call your education. Number 2 is exposure. These are the circumstances that have surrounded your life and existence. So if, for example, your parents were diplomats, it means you probably grew up in Togo or you went to primary school in Singapore. You were exposed to a certain, set of circumstances that's different from someone else. If your mother was a nurse, you had a very different childhood from someone whose mother was a teacher. Right? If you grew up in Kaduna, I grew up in Kaduna and I went to school in Madonna University in Anambra, I had culture shocks all the time. And there were people who were so sure that in Kaduna it was cows and huts. I would speak well and people would say, how do you speak so well? You grew up in Kaduna. I'll tell them, everybody I know speaks well. But that's the perspective they had. That you're from Kaduna, that's what this is. And I'll tell people I'm Christian. No, there's no way you're a Christian. You grew up in Kaduna. But that was their perspective. That's as much as they were exposed to. Right? Next is what? Interest, passion, self-explanatory. So what's something you can talk about for 1 hour with no preparation? Everybody has. Everybody has. Your own may be celebrity gossip, but everybody has. Don't laugh, like there's people who make a buttload of money from celebrity gossip, so don't even laugh. Everybody has something that they can talk about for 1 hour without preparation. If I wake you up from sleep and you're just waking up, you can hold a conversation. Do not take those things for granted. Do you know one of the categories of content that does well on TikTok? Rug cleaning videos. Rug. Like people take a rug that's very dirty and then they wash it on video. Those videos have millions of views on TikTok. I watch them. If you tell anybody, I'll deny you. But I watch those videos. And if you search on YouTube how to peel a banana, there is a video and it has millions of views. Who is the target audience of that video? We don't know, but it's been watched. Right? So what are your interests? What makes you happy? What do you look forward to doing? What are you passionate about? What's the change you want to see in the world? What makes you mad? That's such a pointer to who you are and what's important to you. People don't take this for granted. I know someone who hates it when people litter. I'm one of those people, right? But she hates it on a very extreme level. Like if she sees you littering, she'll pick it up and give you back. So she hates to see people litter so much that she started a recycling company. Right? So that's how far people can go for what they hate. So the things that make you mad are also important to look at when you're considering your interests and your passions. Next is what? Expertise. Your expertise is basically anything you can get paid for or have gotten paid for in the past. So you don't have to be, another word for that would be vocation. You don't have to be good at it, you don't have to be passionate about it rather, but you're good at it, good enough that you have gotten paid or can get paid for it. Whatever soft skills you have, hard skills, vocational skills, that would fall into your expertise. And finally, experience. This is the most dynamic of them all. Remember I said no two people have the same combination of these 5 factors? Experience is so dynamic because, how many of you are firstborn here? How many of you are lastborn? As a firstborn, when you hear your lastborn talking about your parents, it's like it's not the same people that raised you, right? Like they experience different versions of them based on the time when they were born. It's the same way you and somebody can go to watch a movie. You and someone can go and watch a movie. One of them is like, wow, that was amazing. I need to bring my friends to come and watch this movie. This was amazing. They will go and they tweet about it, they recommend it. And then there's somebody else who say, that's 2 hours of my time I will never get back. That was terrible. It was the same movie. They watched it at the same time, had 2 different experiences of the same thing. So experience is very dynamic. And that's the reason why you and somebody can experience, like a musician can experience love or heartbreak, and they write a song. You experience heartbreak, and you cry. Them, they cry, but they will write a song, and they will make money from the heartbreak. I remember one time when people were praying that Bruno Mars, somebody should break his heart, because we need new music. So there's that discrepancy. There's, 2 people can have the same encounter and have 2 different experiences. So when you think about all of these factors, after this meeting, I want you to take your time. When you're home, sit down with a paper and pen and ask yourself, what can I draw from my education? What can I draw from my exposure? What can I draw from my interests? What can I draw from my expertise? What can I draw from my experiences? There is so much. The reason why you're not seeing it is because you are not paying attention. In order for you to sell yourself, you have to know yourself. You have something to offer. I strongly believe that it's such perfectly and divinely orchestrated that I am the first person speaking today, because this is an important foundation for everything you are going to learn here today. Everything you will learn about business. If you don't know how to sell yourself, you will spoil the business. If you are selling life insurance, you cannot be wearing t-shirt and jeans like me. How do you want to sell life insurance looking like my glasses don't even have glass inside? Do you understand? So depending on what you're doing, you now have the advantage. You now have the chance to determine how you will put yourself out into the world. Remember what I said? Your personal brand is what people say about you when you're not there. You can drive the narrative of what will be said. You can determine what will be said about you. The reason why I'm at this event, even though I'm a content creator, all of you know several content creators. I'm sure if you don't know me, you saw the flyer and you're like, why is there? There's CEO, there's CEO, there's business strategist and sales coach, business mentor strategist. Why is there content creator? What's this boy doing? Sure, you found out now. Do you understand? So, for everything you want, you need to know, okay, this is how I want to set myself apart. This is how I want to present myself. There was a time when I was in Dr. FJ's life, but I was not this guy. So he would not invite me to speak at any event. I did not have anything to offer. But as a result of putting myself out on social media, somehow we found ourselves again. It was not a result of chasing him or going to pitch or going to his office. It was me just putting my best foot forward and presenting something of value to the world. Dr. FJ is not my target audience. There's nothing I want to teach that he doesn't already know. Do you get? There's nothing I want to share about sales, about marketing, about brand. There's nothing he doesn't already know. Somebody that sold Emma Plaza. I was in primary school. Emma! I don't think you guys realize how crazy that was. Or maybe it's because I'm young. Because me, I was just thinking, I've never seen Emma. I only know Emma being as rowdy and busy as it is. So just to think that there was somebody that knows when. I want to ask you, sir, how old are you? But so I'm really rooting for you, and I strongly believe that everything you need, you're going to get in this event, but you are only going to get out of it as much as you put into it. There's a reason why you remember what I said, that 2 people can have the same encounter and have 2 separate experiences. Do not be the person that came here and then you went and you don't remember, it was just another Saturday. This cannot be another Saturday. Your life can change. When Dr. FJ told me this event was free, if he was like, he's my senior, but if he was like my close friend, I would be like, why? Why? How? Like, how are you going to present all of this? So I hope that despite the fact that it's been presented in a way that it is accessible, we're all able to appreciate it still. Please follow me on Instagram, on TikTok, at Salem Kinging. I'm still trying to build myself. I'm not established yet, so help my life. And I will always be rooting for you. Thank you guys so much for listening.